Prince Harry got an invitation from the king himself. It wasn't a phone call. It wasn't a public statement. It wasn't even from Harry's team. It came through Buckingham Palace, quietly, privately. A royal residence, offered to a son who's been on the outside for 6 years. And Harry hasn't said yes. He hasn't said no either. He's said nothing at all. Buckingham Palace made an offer. A royal residence. A place to stay during Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's upcoming trip back to the UK. And 6 weeks later, that invitation is still sitting untouched. No yes. No no. Just silence. That silence is louder than anything Harry has said in years. Because this isn't just about hotel arrangements. This is about whether a king and his estranged son can find their way back to each other before it's too late. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are planning to bring their children back to British soil. 7-year-old Prince Archie. 5-year-old Princess Lilibet. A family of 4, stepping back onto the land Harry once called home. But here's what nobody's talking about. There are no public events scheduled for the entire family. Not one. Harry and Meghan are expected to make a few solo appearances, including marking the 1-year countdown to the 2027 Invictus Games. But Archie and Lilibet, their movements remain private, almost hidden. And that tells you everything about where this family actually stands. Let's go back. 6 years ago, Harry and Meghan made a decision that shook the monarchy to its core. They stepped back from senior royal duties. They left the palace, the protocols, the cameras that had followed Harry since he was a grieving 12-year-old boy walking behind his mother's coffin. They built a new life in Montecito, California. Sunshine, privacy, distance. Since then, the visits back to the UK have been rare, and almost always tied to tragedy or obligation. Harry and Meghan returned as a family of 4, for the late Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee. Then, months later, they came back again, this time for her funeral. 2 trips in 1 year, both wrapped in grief. After that, Harry came back alone, solo trips. No Meghan, no kids. He attended his father's coronation in 2023. A historic moment for the monarchy, and Harry stood there, separate from the family unit he once belonged to. Then last September, something happened that caught everyone's attention. A private tea. Just Harry and King Charles, at Clarence House. No press release. No staged photo. Just a father and son, behind closed doors. But here's the open loop nobody can close. What was actually said in that room? Because just months before that tea, Harry sat down for a BBC interview, and said something that stopped the world. He said he would love reconciliation with his family. He said life is precious. And then he said the words that cut deepest. He doesn't know how much longer his father has. Let that sit for a second. A son, publicly admitting he's racing against time to repair a relationship with his own father. The King of England. A man dealing with a cancer diagnosis that the palace has never fully detailed. So, when Buckingham Palace offers Harry and Meghan a royal residence for this trip, that's not just hospitality. Royal sources say this gesture speaks volumes about the king's willingness to reconcile. This is Charles extending a hand. Maybe his most direct gesture yet, and Harry hasn't taken it. Not officially. Not publicly. The invitation remains unanswered, hanging in the air between Montecito and London. Like a question nobody wants to be the first to answer. Insiders close to the situation say that if Harry and Meghan don't accept this offer, it puts a serious question mark over whether any real reconciliation is even possible. This isn't a small gesture being brushed aside. This is potentially the last olive branch on the table. So why the hesitation? Here's where the story gets layered. Because while Harry weighs his next move, the rest of the royal family isn't standing still. Catherine, Princess of Wales, just shared a photo that sent royal watchers into a frenzy. Prince George, standing just inches from towering over his own mother. A quiet, powerful image of a future king, growing up in real time, fully embedded in royal life. But that wasn't the photo that really got attention. Kate also posted something else. A triumphant image after summiting the highest peak in Scotland. She'd completed the National Three Peaks Challenge, climbing all three of the UK's highest mountains in just 24 hours. She said she was grateful to be there, strong enough to walk those hills. This is a woman who battled cancer in the public eye, who disappeared for months while the internet spiraled with theories, who came back stronger, and is now physically conquering mountains for charity. The contrast is impossible to ignore. While Harry debates whether to even set foot in his homeland, Kate is out there climbing actual peaks, fully visible, fully present, fully back in the fold the way Harry once was. And that brings us to the part of this story that nobody wants to say out loud but everyone's thinking. Security. Because the real reason behind Harry's hesitation might not be about feelings at all. It might be about safety. Harry has been vocal for 6 years about losing his UK security detail after stepping back from royal duties. He's fought this battle in courtrooms. He's fought it in interviews. He's said, time and again, that he doesn't feel his children are safe on British soil without proper protection. So when reporters reached out to a government official, asking about the level of security being offered to Harry, Meghan, and their kids for this trip, the official wouldn't comment. Reporters reached back out to the Sussex camp directly. They wouldn't comment either. Total silence on both sides. And in royal reporting, silence is never empty. Silence is a strategy. Because if Harry shows up and accepts that royal residence, every camera in Britain will be watching to see if his children are protected the way a prince and princess should be. And if something feels off, if the security isn't what he believes his family deserves, that becomes the story instead of the reconciliation everyone's hoping for. So now Harry is stuck between two worlds. A father possibly running out of time, extending what might be his most genuine invitation yet. And a son who has spent 6 years building walls around his family, for reasons he believes are about survival, not stubbornness. Meanwhile, the Princess of Wales keeps climbing mountains, literally and figuratively, cementing her place as the future of this monarchy. George keeps growing, keeps appearing in photos that quietly remind the world who's next in line. The institution moves forward, with or without Harry. And somewhere in Montecito, a decision is being made that could define the rest of this family's story. Will Harry walk through those palace gates with his children for the first time in years? Will Archie and Lilibet finally meet the parts of their family they've only seen in photographs and headlines? Or will this invitation join the long list of almost moments between a king and the son who left? No public events have been confirmed for the full family. No security details have been disclosed. No acceptance has been announced. Just a residence sitting empty, waiting for an answer that may never come in time. Is this really about security? Or is this about something far harder to fix? Tell me what you think this silence really means. Subscribe to Celebzova for more royal exposés and the stories the palace doesn't want you